So here is the Tuff Lite folder by Cold Steel. Excellent little knife, in my opinion. The time that I carried it, it's got 2.5 inch of blade of a Wharncliffe blade with Aus 8 steel, and its total weight is 2.5 ounces with a gravery handle, however you want to pronounce that. It's a plastic polymer resin material. So it is a backlock locking mechanism, which is really my primary complaint about this particular knife, is that the amount of travel required that you have to press, and you have to press pretty good and hard on that in order for the knife to release the blade and to close it like that. So you really have to press down, apply a great amount of pressure for backlocks. That's probably the most aggressive that I've ever handled out of the dozens and dozens that I've handled over the past 15 to 20 some years. You have to push hard, and you have to push it pretty down in there for it to release. And so that's for me, that's a little bit of a downer. I really was not thrilled about that. But I do want to say that my absolute favorite thing about this knife is, one, the size and shape of this Wharncliffe blade is just, I mean, if you're looking up Wharncliffe blades and you want a prime example of it, this is it. Perfectly straight blade, totally horizontal blade, and nice tip, and phenomenally tapered off, and the curvature down to the tip from the back, the spine of the handle is just it's beautiful. I mean, that would be my prime example of a Wharncliffe bladed pocket knife. So the design is just phenomenal, and and great proportion for the size of the blade to the size of the handle. For my size, medium to large size hands for a male, it fits in your hand nicely without having a whole lot of extra handle sticking out past your palm, and being able to really fully wrap yourself, that knife, into your hand with great comfort in the palm. This clip is it's a great clip. There's no irritation. It doesn't feel, when you have it in your palm, it doesn't feel bulky, or it doesn't dig into your hand or anything like that. Just a very basic clip. Had excellent tension into your pocket. So, overall, the ergonomics of this knife is spot on. This is an excellent design. Other than the lock, the lock is a bit too much for me for what I care for. I have to press into that so much and so hard, and it has to go so far in order for it to release. I mean, if I do that, no, I gotta go all the way. You'll feel it if you get this knife. Or if you've had it in the past, those who know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm not the only reviewer on this knife to mention that. It's been mentioned by a couple other individuals that are out there on YouTube that do a lot of knife reviews. So that's the one big issue. The other issue that, again, is, a very minor personal preference, is the thumb hole. I really don't care for that shape of the thumb hole on the blade right there. I'm not that I'm a huge Spyderco fan, but that's one thing that Spyderco, you know, they don't joke around, they don't experiment too much, and they don't go too far with experimentation. They dial in on what's extremely functional, and and they stick with it. Excellent knives, by the way. I will review one. I will have one of those on my reviews too. But just having a perfect circle thumb hole right there is all you need. There's really no need to make a different shape to elongate it on the blade. I mean, they possibly did it, one, to cut out a little bit of weight, but then and then two, to be just a little bit different for style, you know, purposes. And then I also think that for the lanyard hole right here on the end, it's also elongated. So some people like that much of a lanyard hole. So therefore, maybe, you know, again, purely for looks, to kind of mirror that yin and yang from the handle to the blade, to have that, you know, have that look. So yeah, I love the plastic has a bit of a texture to it, which is really nice. So it, you know, there's no issues with the grip in the hand with this. So again, my three dings on it, the three things that I'm not thrilled about, are the lock, obviously, the thumb hole on the blade. And then I really wish that, not saying that AUS 8 is not a great steel. It is a really good steel, but for Wharncliffe of this size knife, and you know, I would love to see Cold Steel kind of step it up with what steel they use in the vast majority of their pocket knife folder lineup. If they could upgrade on their steel by a step or two, that can make this $30 knife into a $40 knife. I would definitely buy it. I think that they would probably find a lot more people buy it if it had better quality steel for the blade that has a better edge retention. And that's typically what a lot of those who are big into the Wharncliffe style shaped blades, they want Wharncliffes that have great edge retention, and the AUS 8 just kind of is a little under par in that area. Easy to sharpen, and pretty decent as far as rust erosion resistant, but they definitely have to be sharpened fairly often. So that's the Tuff Lite from Cold Steel.